What's up everybody, it's your boy Drizzy with the J here, coming to you live, and today we're going to be going over horses in Black Desert Online. So, we're going to go over how to get a horse, because there's a bunch of stuff you might need for that. How to train up a horse, so there's some things you can do after you get a horse that might be pretty important to you, and what you can do with those horses, which is a large variety of things. So let's just hop into it. Alright, to start this off on how you're going to get a horse, we're going to show you what you need to start up. So, the first thing you're going to want to make sure you grab is some rope. Now, you can grab rope from any stable store. You can get carrots as well if you really want that, but that's for after you get a horse. We're going to go into that a little bit more later. And yeah, there's one more thing you're really going to want to make sure you have when you have a horse, and that's going to be patience, because it might take you some attempts, and you'll definitely see some of that in here too. There's also one more item that you could also buy, or make, my bad, is raw lumps of sugar. Now I'm a little bit of a tinfoilist, I really don't think that this works at all, but I'm going to make sure I bring it in the video just in case. So basically all you're going to do is head to a chef in your town, buy some raw sugar, and buy water. After you do that, you're just going to want to bring up your process menu and hit heating, and when you do heating, you're just going to want to throw them both in there. And you're going to need about 20 or 10 raw sugar per 1 water to make this lump of raw sugar, just for your information. As you can see here, we're going to get our horse now. Basically all you're going to do is attach your rope to your hotbar and set a course to a location. So right now I'm throwing some up on the screen where you can find some horses. My mentality is you basically just go to an area that looks like it's pretty open and it's like a plain. But besides that, we're just gonna head there and boom. So once you find your horse, you're gonna want to make sure you click your rope and approach the horse. Try to approach it kind of slowly, and you'll just wait for the crossbar to pop up on the horse. And once it pops up, you should be able to throw it on the horse. Now I'm gonna fail here because I'm suck, but this is the first time I've caught a horse in a very, very long time. I typically just breed now, and you're gonna see me just have a bad time, just generally. But yeah, so. This is a very successful attempt. Typically this will work. I'm sure this is a higher tier horse. After you fail once, I don't necessarily know if you can go back and do the horse again, but it never really seemed like I could do it again, and you'll see that later, kind of. But yeah, you can see there's a minute game to it. You basically just have to press the space bar, then move forward. As you see I'm doing here, and as soon as you hear it go back up, where the legs go back up, you're just going to do the space bar spam again, and yeah. So if you wanted to use some sugar lumps, you're gonna do it when you get a little bit closer to the horse. Basically, when you get right next to the horse, you're gonna want to use those sugar clumps. You're gonna want to have them in your inventory or on your hotbar there, so you can just press it right here. And all you're gonna do is try to like get on it, and if it doesn't let you get on it, then boom, then you pretty much messed up. And yeah, so that's it. But that's basically all you're gonna want to do here. Alright, so one of the last things we're going to go over here is training. And your horse can be trained in two different ways. That's both actively and AFK. So the first way we're going to go over here is the AFK way. You can basically just look for a line on the map that looks pretty safe. There won't be any mobs on it. You don't have to worry about getting flagged up on. This is really beneficial if you're below 50, so you can make a lot of good silver this way, but we're going to go over that a little bit later. Basically, you're going to do auto looping and make sure your horse has carrots on it and just set it on overnight. If you don't want to do it that way, you can also just put 2 horses on a wagon and train 2 horses up at the same time, which is the most efficient way to do it, I believe. But yeah, there's one other way to do it, and that's actively training it. So actively is just anytime you're on the horse or just trying to do it yourself, not AFK, basically. And you can see my horse here is level 10. It's a tier 8 horse, and I have about 7 abilities here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like to train an ability. The ability I'm training is pretty short, it's not very long. I'm just going to do Instant Excel and show you what it looks like to train. It's basically a little mini game. You can see you just gotta press W or S on the mini game, and depending on what you press and depending on how fast you press it, you'll win or lose the mini game. You'll see me do it right here successfully and see what it looks like, and boom, you did it. So there's not much more else to it besides that. But yeah. So lastly, what can you do with these horses? You can sell them, you can keep them, and you can breed them. Now all three of these are a little bit different in their own way. Selling them is, of course, the most profitable way as a lower level player to make some money, and even as a higher level player, some people say they make close to $1 billion a week, silver, just doing this. But basically, you can see my horse here is a tier 8 horse. It's worth a lot. Um, and what you can do is you can breed it or you can sell it. So you can see here I'm bringing up the breeding scene, and the breeding alone for my horse is about 30 million silver. Now that is a lot of silver just to let somebody breed with my horse, but I'm probably going to breed it myself because I want some more higher level horses. I'm going to wait a little bit. So the next thing I'm going to do here, next thing you can look at is selling the horse. You can see my horse is worth 60 or 70 million silver, and that's just selling it to the game. So you know, if it doesn't have any more breeds or anything like that, that's how much it'll be worth when I sell it, get rid of it basically. And the last thing I can do is market on the market, so register on the market, and it's worth 137 million. So you can see how lucrative this could be if you do it correctly. If you put a lot of horses on a wagon and you train them all at once. Now you can see this is a lower level horse. It's the one that I breeded earlier. It's a T5 horse. It's a female. You can basically just use it to breed with things. I'll probably put it on a horse, like on a wagon with my tier 8 horse, and just train them together after this and see what I can do. But you can see here I'm just looking through the abilities of the different horses I have, and yeah. There's a few other things you can do with a horse, that being keeping it. So keeping it is like, say you got a T8 horse, say you got Instinct Cell, Instinct Cell Plus, or whatever you want to call it, and Drift, basically all the things you want on it, and maybe even like a dual passenger, right? You can keep that horse. You don't have to sell it. It's a really nice horse. And yeah, you can get rid of it if you want, but that's mostly if you don't want it, I guess. And yeah, that's about everything I wanted to go over in this video. We went over how to get a horse, how to train a horse, and what you can do with them. But yeah, I think that this is a really good thing to go over. Let me know any comments about this video. This is only my second one. I'm really trying to make it a lot better than what they were before. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys later.